Good morning. From Fox 5 News, this is Good Day Atlanta at 7 a.m.
I love the game so far. I knew it was going to happen. TCU ain't coming back today. It's not going to happen. Let's go. Championship belt here. Go Dogs!
Yeah, the Georgia Bulldogs waking up this morning national champs for the second year in a row.
That's right. They dominated TCU 65-7 and ended the season perfectly with a 15-0 record.
Something
amazing.
else.
Absolutely
Wow.
amazing.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Good Day Atlanta at 7. I'm Elise Edie.
And I'm Ron Gant. Thank you so much for joining us on this Tuesday morning.
Of course, Good Day's Buck Lanford is live in California, which is basically dog country pretty much this morning.
Yes, it is.
After last night, Buck, wow.
Dogs, you might say, here in Southern California. The song says it never rains in Southern California.
Right.
I can confirm that it and sometimes it rains a lot. I think we have some video from last night as our evening crews, David Chanley, Christine Sparrow, our photographer Billy, who's working with me this morning, also was out there. It was absolutely pouring, and it's rained off and on the entire time we've been here in the Los Angeles area. SoFi Stadium is not a dome stadium. It just has a roof over it. It's open on the sides, so it was raining sideways into the stadium last night. You could see the rain and mist. The floors were slippery. I don't think when they built that stadium they were thinking about nights like this in Southern California. But when you spend multi-billion dollars on a stadium, you don't want it to leak, right? But it certainly did. So the weather has certainly been interesting, but it didn't really affect the game, the play on the field. But it does continue to be kind of chilly and kind of rainy here in Southern California this morning.
All right. Wow. What a scene from Southern California, something you never see before. Let's send it over to Joanne Foreman for a look at our forecast. Yeah, a lot of rain out there, but there is also some headed our way.
Absolutely. We got a couple days to go, though, before we have much happening here. Let me show you what's going on, though, in California right now. Not only continued occasional showers in and around Los Angeles, what you see farther north, there's a tornado warning inland. That doesn't happen very often. This is yet another weather system coming onshore. That's just another part of a parade of storms that have been impacting them for several days now. We're very quiet here this morning. Only concern is it's cold and frosty out there with temperatures below freezing and mainly in the 20s over northwest Georgia. But despite how cold it is, it does warm up really nicely today. We'll be at a cool 53 at noon, but we'll spend some time in the low 60s. And this is just the beginning of a much bigger warming trend that will lead us up to a risk of severe weather by Thursday. I'll show you what we're expecting out of that coming up in just a few minutes. Ron and Elise.
Joanne, thank you. Checking Skyfox traffic now as you get ready to head out. We're checking in on the downtown connector. Just cleared a crash to the right shoulder north at 10th Street. All lanes are back open. It's now a 23-minute trip time from Langford Parkway up to the Brookwood interchange. To your big three now from the northern suburbs. I-75 out of Cobb County is all green, 12 minutes. No problems on Georgia 400. That's 13 minutes. And your ride-in from I-85 in Gwinnett County should take about 24 minutes.
Well, what a year. You can't get much more perfect than this. UGA football concludes a flawless season by doing something they've never done before, and that's win back-to-back national titles.
Final score 65-7,
Yes.
the biggest blowout in college football championship history. So let's get back out to Good Day's Buck Lanford and Kelly Price with more on what was just an exciting win, a complete blowout, guys. Good
Start to
morning.
finish.
Yeah.
Good morning to you guys. Good morning, Kelly. Did you get any sleep?
About like an hour. It was really hard to go to bed after that. My adrenaline was pumping, all the confetti still in my hair. It was a lot.
Well, the odds makers thought Georgia would win big, but I don't think anybody expected what we saw last night.
No, I mean, it was literally a win of epic proportions, of historic proportions.
Yeah, for sure. Let's take a look at the highlights. Man, there were plenty to show, and hard to choose which ones to show in this one. Stetson Bennett, what a game he had. This was a 21-yard rushing touchdown in the first quarter on a run-pass option. He was untouched into the end zone, and the Dogs led 7-0. Skip ahead, he also had a 6-yard touchdown, his second rushing touchdown of the game in the second quarter. That made it 24-7. The Horned Frogs were down 10-7 in the first quarter, but man, it got ugly from their side. This is Stetson. We saw him doing it with his legs. How about doing it with his arms as well? This to Adonai Mitchell, the touchdown in the second quarter, made it 38-7. You get the idea. They just pour it on. He hits Ladd McConkey as well for a touchdown in the third quarter. McConkey had a couple of touchdowns in the game. Stetson threw for 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, ran for 2 touchdowns as well. And with 13 minutes, 25 seconds left in the game, he got to exit the field knowing that the national championship was secure.
As far as best game, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I'm going to watch the tape. I'm going to enjoy watching this tape, and we'll see after that.
And I don't know if Stetson knows this, but I walked in and my 10-year-old son, Andrew's bawling. And I was like, oh, no, somebody's hurt his feelings. Somebody's thrown him down. Somebody's done something to him. I said, why are you crying? You're going to ruin my moment. He said, Stetson's leaving. Stetson's gone. I said, he's 25 years old. He's got to go. Got to leave.
I love that story. That's hilarious.
25 years old, you got to go, right? It's time to go. All right, so I snuck out after the game and got back to the hotel to try to get a couple hours of sleep. You were in the melee afterwards. What was that like?
Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Well, you kind of mentioned the weather, as it is kind of still raining here in LA. It was raining confetti and actual rain in that stadium. That's a sight I know I'm never going to forget.
No doubt.
And then we also got
What's it like to be a part of this one this year?
Oh, it's great just being able to see my brothers that I played with and came into school with win another one, and keep the dynasty going.
From your perspective, being on the team last year and then this year, what's the difference of this team this year?
Well, I haven't been with this team. I haven't been every step of the way with this team. I'm more of a fan now, looking from the outside in, but I'm supporting them every step of the way. I'm supporting the Dogs. Go Dogs.
To see your former teammates get this again, the guys on the defense that kind of stepped up after all those doubts this year. Oh, we lost all that talent. What's it like to see that?
It's great. It's just a credit to Coach Shamar and all the players, all the hard work they put in, and how they prepare for this game, prepare for big games.
Georgia, are they the new dynasty now in college football?
I think so. But I'm biased, but I do.
Cool to see Nakobe Dean kind of being a fan of the Dogs as well. And yes, I think they're a new dynasty in college football.
Back-to-back and favored to make it back-to-back already.
Yeah.
So, they're already talking about a three-peat for national championships. So it was a great party here, but it was a great party at the Battery. Ooh. And it was a great party in Athens, Georgia.
No classes today, right?
Well, I don't think they're going. I think they're scheduled, but I don't think people, certainly if they have an 8 a.m. class, they probably will not be making it. The party's over, I think, for now. The streets are quiet. Mark Teichner's there. But, man, what a party it was last night in Athens, GA, the home of the Dogs.
Well, it certainly was, and as you mentioned, things are much quieter now, and it's going to take a little longer than usual for Athens to come to life, given the fact that everyone was out so late celebrating that back-to-back championship. UGA students and fans flocked to the Arch to celebrate the Bulldogs' back-to-back national football titles. As soon as the game came to an end, it seemed like everyone from miles around descended on the streets of downtown Athens. Police kept a close eye on things, and there was some minor damage, including a truck that had its hood bashed in. But for the most part, everyone stayed peaceful.
Having two, is a little bit different.
Senior Kendall Wyatt and his friends say this celebration was a little tamer than last year's.
This time it was expectation because we knew we could do it, so there were way higher expectations, versus last year we were kind of on our edge of a scene.
But I feel like last year was better because it's Alabama. Screw Alabama.
With Georgia now the top dog in college football, UGA fans hope these celebrations become an annual event.
Back to back, we proved it. I want to see next year though, but I think we keep the same team and keep recruiting how we did. 3 in a row, we're going to see 3 in a row. We're going to see 3 in a row.
All right, so what about the championship celebration? Well, last year they did it on the Saturday after the game. No word yet as to whether that will be the same case this year, but once we get that information, we'll pass it along to you right away. Reporting live from Athens, Georgia, I'm Mark Teichner for Good Day Atlanta.
It's not official, Mark, but I would go ahead and say clear your calendar for Saturday, just in case. All right?
Probably a good bet.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, and if you want to get some swag to make sure that you're representing maybe at that parade, possibly on Saturday, Academy Sports and Outdoors is the place to be. That's where we find Brooke Zahner in Kennesaw.
Yeah, good morning, Kelly. I don't know if you guys have swag yet. I'm seeing all these people in the studio who were at home, probably watching the game, getting the swag, and I don't know if you guys have any yet, but we're still waiting. We're waiting for the doors to open right here at Academy Sports, but of course, as soon as the Dogs won last night, even before, there was a line of people just waiting to get their hands on this new national championship gear.
Let's roll.
The doors opened at Academy Sports stores across Metro Atlanta immediately after the Dogs clinched the national championship title.
Oh man, we're super pumped. We're excited, man. This is awesome. Amazing feeling to be a Georgia fan. With the Braves winning it 2 years ago, and then Georgia back to back. Pretty awesome, man.
Brandon Salyer says he saw enough, and he left his house at halftime when the Dogs managed a record-breaking 38-7 halftime lead over the Horned Frogs. Salyer says he wanted to be the first in line to get his hands on national championship gear for the second year in a row.
You never know when we'll see this again, so hey, just trying to live in the moment, man.
Employees at Academy worked during the game to unpack merchandise like hats, shirts, car decals, you name it. 9 Metro Atlanta Academy stores began selling merch after the Dogs' big win Monday night. Fans packing those stores by the dozen, not willing to wait to show off their national championship gear.
It's great to be a young kid in this world and get to experience this 2 times, not once, but twice I get to experience them win a national championship.
I'm like living in a dream right now. I'm kind of sad I wasn't able to go to the game, but I can still kind of live that dream out right now and get this shirt, and just glad that Georgia won.
Yeah, a lot of people feeling that way this morning. So Academy is opening at 9 o'clock this morning. Obviously, the diehards went out here last night. They got their swag. And then, of course, Dick's Sporting Goods also has some swag as well. And they should be opening here in the next 20 minutes, about 7:30. So we'll keep you posted on that. But until then, I'll send it back to you guys. All right, thanks, Brooke. I'm sure there's lots of fans getting in line later today as well. Shout out to that guy that got there at halftime, the foresight. I respect.
Yeah, well, I think we knew it was over at halftime as well.
Right.
Yeah, and that'll certainly be the fashion statement you want to be, see and be seen in around the Atlanta area in the coming weeks. No doubt about that. Kirby Smart, always quotable. He said, we didn't feel like we're defending a national title. We're hunting another one. And I got a feeling hunting season is over maybe for a day, and then hunting season begins again because they are already the odds-on favorite to do this again, and the schedule next year is conducive.
Yeah, and I mean, even in the post-game press conferences last night after the win, they were already asking about next year.
Yeah.
Who's the quarterback next year? All the people coming back, they were already looking ahead, and that's why Kirby Smart is so good at what he does, because he does just keep it churning.
Stetson Bennett will no doubt be a tough act to follow, but Georgia is loaded, so they're in great position to keep this thing going. We'll send it back to you guys in the studio. We're live here in Southern California.
Yeah, I agree with Kelly.
Yeah.
The D word, yes. Dynasty, I think so.
Absolutely. And I don't know that you guys can see us out there, Buck and Kelly, but we're sporting our gear once again, our hats, our T-shirts.
Where's ours?
So excited.
Yep.
Hey, you're in California.
We can't see you, but we've been hearing all about it. Yeah.
I got my hat on. We got our T-shirts. Yeah, man, we got some serious swag here.
They're in the warm studio. They got the swag. We're in the cold and rain.
Hey, y'all got to experience it live though, so you got to share the wealth here.
We'll save some for you.
All right.
Pros and cons.
Thanks, guys.
I wear a large.
Okay, got it. It's 7:13, and as I'm still rocking my hat, I mean, what an incredible game, Joanne, last night. Worth being tired this morning,
but I slept well.
That, and then we're going to sleep well when we get this rain, right?
And so, I mean, we've got so many changes that'll happen this week, and the rain that we're tracking is actually connected to the system that is just now coming on shore into California. You're thinking just now coming on shore, they were getting torrential rain yesterday. Yeah, there has not been much of a break between that system moving inland and the latest, which is prompting a couple of severe thunderstorm and even a tornado warning well east and inland of San Francisco. That's unusual, to say the least. They don't often deal with this kind of weather, and to deal with it for this length of time is really remarkable. But we've got a clear start here. Our story is it's really cold this morning, but it's going to warm up really well. We're at 37, so it is going to be frosty in some areas, and we've even got some 20s out there from Carrollton to LaGrange. But as far as what happens next, we'll enjoy sunshine today and a really nice warm up to near 60 or above. Tomorrow, you're going to see some clouds mixing in with our sunshine, and with that, I'm not going to rule out a stray shower. Most areas are not going to get rain Wednesday. Really, what we're doing here is kind of priming the atmosphere for what will roll in Thursday afternoon. It may not last all that long, but it will be a powerful line of storms that comes through late in the day and is on the way out Thursday night. And in the process can do this right here, produce damaging winds and tornadoes. That is Thursday's severe weather outlook, a level 2 on a scale of 1 to 5. And so the warmth certainly is a factor weather here as we keep building up the temperatures each day. We're up to 68 degrees by Thursday, and once that cold front blasts by, there's the difference for Friday. Windy, a lot colder, a good 20-degree drop there to a high of 48. Still 40s for Saturday, and then the numbers start edging back closer to normal later in the holiday weekend. Ron and Elise.
Joanne, thank you. And checking Skybox traffic for you once again. Some good news to share. A crash we're watching on the east side perimeter is cleared. It's heading south past I-20. All lanes are back open, but heavy delays remain before Memorial Drive. You can avoid the delays and try the downtown connector as a good alternate. And we're seeing some delays building on I-85 inside the perimeter. Most of that volume starts at North Druid Hills Road. It's now 10 minutes from I-285 down to 75. And Highway 316, also a slow ride westbound, 15 minutes now from Winder Highway to I-85.
There is now a classified documents investigation into President Biden. I'm Doug Gluzader in Washington. We'll have the details coming up.